Otto the Owl Who Loved Poetry by Vern Kousky. Otto is not like the other owls of the forest. You see, owls are supposed to roost in the hollow of a tree, but Otto would rather read books. You can see all the owl eyes roosting in trees, and then there's Otto reading a book. And owls are supposed to hunt in the dark of the night, but Otto would rather make friends. So there's Otto talking to a mouse, and there's the other owls getting ready to hunt for a mouse. Owls, of course, aren't really supposed to recite poetry, but when the other owls are roosting or hunting, Otto finds a secret spot and recites his favorite poems. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky. So that's one of the poems he's reading or reciting. One snowy night, Otto's secret is discovered. The cold winds burn my face and blows its frosty pepper up my nose. That's a poetry he's reciting. And here's the other owls, and they've heard him reciting poetry. Now, when the other owls see Otto, they laugh and shout, "Look, it's Blotto! Here comes Blotto the bard." On his nightly walks, Otto sighs and sadly wonders, "Why do all the owls tease me? What could possibly be wrong with poetry?" At last, he decides to run away. As Otto wanders through the forest, the moonlight guides him. "Well, dear moon," he says, "I guess it's just you and me now." And suddenly, he has an idea for a poem, the very first of his own creation. "Dear moon, you must be lonely, so high up in the sky. I'm sure your heart's so heavy, sometimes you want to cry. But, dear moon, please do not worry. I've a message here to send. I'm with you every evening, dear moon. You're my best friend." Otto is surprised to see dozens of tiny faces looking up at him. He is even more surprised to hear dozens of tiny voices begin to shout, "More, more, more!" So Otto delights the mice with another poem. "I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair." Otto now knows that poetry should be shared with more than just the moon and the stars. Poetry should be shared with everyone. And so, when a few owls find Otto in the forest one spring night, he does not run and hide. Instead, he proudly recites, "I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too?" The more the owls listen, the less they feel like laughing. And when the poem is finished, they all hoot and holler, "More, more, hoo, hoo, hoo." The next night, another owl recites a new favorite poem. "Who has seen the wind? Neither I nor you. But when the leaves hang trembling, the wind is passing through." And even a little mouse is inspired to write a poem of her own. "Oh, my beautiful hunk of cheese, you smell so sweet and good. Oh, my beautiful hunk of cheese, I'd marry you if I could." And so now, thanks to Otto, every night the forest comes alive with the glorious sounds of poetry. Here are Otto's favorite famous poems. "Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky. The cold wind burns my face and blows its frosty pepper up my nose. I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. I'm nobody, who are you? Are you nobody too? Who has seen the wind? Neither I nor you, but when the leaves hang trembling, the wind is passing through." So those are all from famous poems from T.S. Eliot, Robert Louis Stevenson, Joyce Kilmer, Emily Dickinson, and Christina Rossetti. So we're going to make our own Otto today. So what I started with is a paper bag, paper lunch bag. So I'm folding the top down, just give it a nice fold. And then I'm gonna cut that fold into a V because that's gonna make the top of Otto's head. So you just need to eyeball where you think the center of your bag is and trim out to the corners. Doesn't have to be a perfect V. Okay. So that's my first step. My next step was to cut some circles for his eyes. So if you see, we have a brown, a white, and a black circle, and each one is smaller than the next. So in order to get two circles the same size, what I like to do is take a piece of construction paper and fold it in half. And when you do that and you cut your circle, you'll be cutting through all the layers like I'm doing here. And then each of those circles will be the same size. So you'll have two circles the same size, or depending how many times you folded it. If you're doing this craft with the group, fold it a few times. So I've done that with each of my colors, my brown, my black, and my white. So I'll start with my large brown eyes, which are the outside of his eyes. So I'll put some glue on. You don't really need a lot. So owls typically have eyes that are really close together. So you want to try to make the two circles overlap a little bit or be very close together to start with. And then the next color that I have is my white. And again, I'm going to try to place those sort of more into the center and a little bit lower. So if you notice, I didn't actually put those right in the middle, putting them down into the center and a little bit lower. And then the pupil, owls always have huge pupils in their eyes. That's why they can see so well in the dark. So I've got my two black parts of the eye, and again you want to put those a little bit in the center because then he looks a little bit cartoonish and funny looking. You don't have to do that, but I think that looks cute when you do that. So then to make the chest of my owl, again, if you're doing more than one owl, you can take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and then when you cut out your shape, which in this case is going to be the chest of the owl. It's a nice big long oval. And I'll just cut the top where my fold was. So then you'll get your two pieces the same. So I made that a little bit long, so I'm going to trim off the top. Put a little bit of glue. You don't need lots of glue, it's just paper. It sticks really quickly. So that's where we're at so far. And then, of course, for the owl's nose, you just need a little tiny piece of orange, and you cut it in a diamond shape. So to get an easy diamond, you take your piece of paper, fold it in half, and then just cut a triangle. And then when you unfold your triangle, you'll have a diamond. So we'll add that for our nose, so you can have it so that it sticks up if you want. And then I just used a stapler and stapled down the top of his head to give you the point of his head. They always have feathers going down in a nice point. So there's your quick Otto craft.